Here's a tiger bark ficus that I've been working on for about the past 5 or 6 years. I don't have any particular name for it or anything. It's just a tree that I've been working on, and I've got a lot of little video clips about. So I thought I'd put all the clips together and show you the journey that it's been through. I don't have any clips of its very beginning, but I do have clips over the past 2 or 3 years. So going back to about November of 23, this was the earliest clip I could find. And at this point, it actually had a pretty good root base. Radial, no roots going straight down. No big potato roots. Here it is a few months later. I'm just going to give it a light trim. It's November, so I try not to get too severe with trimming in November. But I've always kept this one a little bit under control. Some trees I'll just let them grow wild and, maybe even create a new style with it. And this one I'll let grow out a little bit at times. But I kind of kept the shape under control a little bit, just so I don't get spots where there's reverse taper or one branch takes off way more than another branch and it looks imbalanced. So I guess speaking of balance, I guess that's really what it's about, is letting it get healthy, but not letting it get out of control. It's kind of a balance in between there. So here it is after I trimmed it up. And then here it is just a month later. Grown out quite a bit. Spring is on the horizon. Give it a quick trim again. This tree has always been kind of I guess I'd call it a sleeper tree. It was never my front and center showpiece or anything. It just kind of sat in the background and did its thing, and I just slowly worked on the style and the shape and structure. And you can see one big cut there. Make mental note of that big cut, and we'll check on it again here in a minute. But yeah, over time, this tree kind of just took on more personality and matured a little bit and started looking better and better. Here it is later that summer. Looking pretty good. So yeah, it was kind of like a sleeper tree. Never had high expectations for it or anything. It just sort of played kind of a sidekick role to all the other trees. And kind of accidentally started looking cool. And that's kind of the main theme of this video, is just to show how a tree can go from playing sidekick to one of the main characters after a while. Here it is a month later. It's good and healthy. Gave it a trim again. Sorry for the shaky camera there. Kind of a better look. I'm pretty happy with the structure and the shape at this point. A little concerned about that big cut. It could turn into a bulge. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Fast forward a couple of months to November of 24. It's put on a little bit of thickness at this point. I think I'm going to have to do some wiring on the branches because, over time they slowly start growing upward. I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of the second branch on the left. Or I guess the third branch if you can include the one on the right. So left, then up one right, then that one right there. Kind of right above my finger. Thinking about getting rid of that because that will contribute to any growth bulge where that big cut was. But then it'll be imbalanced and there'll be one branch on the left and then two on the right. So I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. Fast forward another month. I decided, I don't know why, but I think I just pulled it out to look at it and I just decided, you know what? I'm going to make some big cuts. And I didn't have my camera going or anything. I just made some big cuts. Because back then, this really wasn't a main character type tree. I had never posted a video about it or anything. I was just taking little clips here and there. But I made these big cuts, even though it looks bad right now, I made them for the long-term greater good. I don't like how that very top branch kind of goes straight out like that without much movement. But I think we can fix that with time kind of easily. I took some more chunks out of that big cut right there, just to prevent any bulge. And what's funny is I don't even remember doing some of these. That's the thing about taking these long periods of time videos where you just take a bunch of clips, is you put them all together and you kind of put it into one video, and then you start to see things you did 2 years ago. It's like, oh yeah, I did that. I forgot. So I think we're positioned well for the future with this. The top branches, like I said, those will be easier to fix. It's easier to fix top branches than it is bottom branches. Top branches are the first things to grow out, usually. It is a few months later, in March 25. It's been in the grow tent, so it has grown out, even though it's been winter time. But it's not the same type of growth that you would get in the summer, you know, outside in the full sun. Kind of a darker, duller looking leaf in the winter. In the interest of not letting it get out of hand, I trimmed it up. It always kind of pains me to trim them up in wintertime, though. I'm kind of just struggling for strength as it is. I wouldn't say it's a perfect science, knowing when and when not to do that. Here it is a couple months later in May, so spring is in full session at this point. I actually do remember this point. I was just doing a real quick trim and wire job. I was getting ready to go to a Black Keys concert. While I was waiting for my girlfriend, I just grabbed this tree, turned on camera, worked on it a little bit. And there it is. I gave it a good little trim. It's a better look. I brought it inside and put some wire on it. I just wanted to bring those side branches down a little bit. It's actually not the best wiring job I've ever done. Like I said, this was just right before I was getting ready to leave, so just a quick job. Fast forward a couple months, here it is in July. It's looking good and healthy again, starting to grow out. That big cut there is not really turning into a problem, which is good. Even the root base is starting to flare out a little bit, which is good. I'm kind of surprised in this type of pot. This is kind of a deeper pot. Usually you would see more of that in a shallower pot. Here it is a month later. Nice and full and healthy. And it's starting to look less like a stick in a pot and more like a little tree. See, these branches are, a lot of them are 5, 6, 7 leaves or nodes. I'm not sure about that back branch, the one all the way at the bottom, all the way in the back. Sort of letting it go for now. I don't think it's going to make the cut in the long run, though. In the meantime, just doing some clip and grow, looking for the leaf facing outward or facing in the direction that I want it to go, and I'm trimming it back to that leaf. Usually about the second, anywhere between the first, second, or third leaf, depending on what direction the leaf is facing. But that's the best way to control which direction the branch goes, so that you get some movement and you get movement in the direction you want. I go in for a few finer cuts here. Too many branches in one spot. And that's where I leave it. The branch that's wired downward on the right there might be a little bit too long. I might end up having to take it back and shorten it up some. We'll see. Fast forward to November. It's got that wintertime growth. You can see the difference in color between the leaves. This dark, dull color versus that bright and kind of vivid, I don't know the right word, but a little more lively, glossy looking leaves in the summer. That root flare's happening a little more. So, looks good and healthy. Winter time healthy, but still healthy. I decided to take the wire off. Yeah, I think that branch is a little long. It's going in the direction I want, which is good. But a little long though. And then just a minor trim, I think, just a little off the top. See that cluster of branches up there? That's starting to concern me a little. Tiger bark ficuses, they do love to backbud, which is good. They love to backbud all in one spot sometimes. That's a lot of branches in one place, so you end up getting this big growth bulge up top, and it just looks goofy and weird. That reverse taper. But hopefully you see by now, this video is a lot about just kind of the process, the long-term process. Letting it grow out, trimming it back, letting it grow out, trimming it back. Occasionally you got to make some big cuts. You kind of wince a little bit when you make big cuts because, you know, it took so long to get to that point. But looking at it with foresight, knowing that if I let this go, it's only going to get worse. And then every time you make the big cut, almost every time, at least with me, I'm always glad. I do it and then I'm like, okay, I'm glad. That needed to be done. Setting it up good for long term. Like this here. I took it back. It's set up well for long term. One more look here at the root base, and then back in the grow tent it goes. Good look at the branch structure. That cut point is staying under control, which is good. See a little bit of wire scars there, but hardly noticeable unless you really zoom in. Fast forward to June of 26. So this was just a couple of months ago from now. We're now in August 26. So it's growing out quite a bit. Haven't trimmed it all this time, just kind of let it grow. There's a little charger for comparison, size comparison there. Root base is looking good. Trunk is looking good. That cut is starting to heal over. And it's not really bulging out, which is great. See those green, glossy looking leaves? It's doing great right here. I turned it back. Nothing major. Fast forward to July, so about a month later, and it's starting to grow back again already. And I'm really starting to see this thing take shape. It's starting to look full in a good way. You know, the growth is balanced. It's got good ramification. It's got a good shape. It's healthy. So I'm pretty happy with where it's going. Here it is as of just a couple days ago. At my new house. This is after the move, of course. And there it is. It's healthy. It's full. It's almost ready for trim. I'm going to wait just a little while longer. But I'm super happy with how it's going. So I hope you enjoyed the journey. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, just showing the process and the progress over time, how it's thickened up some. And thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.